Good morning, everyone. I was just checking that I was live, and I can see that I am because I've got a little green line. I hope you're all well this morning. It's much, much cooler in Sydney than we've had. We had the most beautiful Easter weekend. The weather was absolutely sensational, but it's a lot colder this morning and a few showers going around. But yeah, it is autumn. I hope you had a lovely Easter too. We had a lovely Easter with family and with church friends, and eating a lot that we shouldn't have probably, but it was a lovely weekend. So today I'm going to do elements of text. Now this is the stamp set here. It's a great background stamp. Um, it's got William Wordsworth's poem "I Wandered Lonely as a Cloud." I was trying to work out what the other one was, and then there's another one, a bluebell ringing on the ledge, I think it is. But it's great for background. And I'm going to show you how I use this as a background today on a couple of stamps. What are the stamps? The first one I'm going to do is Spotlight in Nature. So let's get this out so you can see what I did. I actually prepared this at retreat last weekend. And this is what I prepared. And some of you might have seen this on my Facebook. And that beautiful card just there. What it has is crumb cake, very vanilla, and then the elements of text. And then I've used this stamp here from Spotlight of Nature on the top and gold embossed it. But isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, it's a really, really pretty card. So I'm going to show you how I put that together today. And I've got a little bit of gold ribbon here. Now, I did make a bit of a boo-boo when I was at retreat. I stamped it in silver as well, just to show you that you could do it in silver. I think I'd change the background color if I was doing it in silver, but I just kept that. But here's my gold one. Oh, and I know what I forgot to bring in, my paintbrush. Everything else I have might actually just bring in my blue zippered thing. So I've got my crumb cake base here, as I need it. This is going to go on next, and then this will go on the top. But I want to darken the edges of this. So while I'm doing that, let me get my watercolor paintbrush out. I just want to, I haven't highlighted the flowers in this, so I'm going to do that right now. So I've just got a water painter here. Oh, I'm just getting our coffee. Isn't that nice? So let's get a little bit of water on here. It's coming out. And actually, I think, yeah, well, that'll do. This one will do. It's it looks orangey, but I think it'll be okay. Make this one slightly stronger. To do a little bit less, but that's okay. It's funny because it looks quite orangey. It's just do it like that. Get still a little bit of orange, and then I'm going to clean that off. So don't get all that water to go into my ink pad. And set that over there. I'm going to clean my pencil off, my watercolor brush off. And I'm just going to use a little bit of old olive here as well. And I might be sipping on coffee this morning. It's that kind of a morning. And I'm just going to faintly add it to, I'm not adding any to the lid of this. I just want to just give that tinge of green to the leaves, but not too much, as you can see. Okay, there we go. So that's my green leaves. Okay, so while that's drying, I shall put this one side. So this one's a little bit more orangey because I think I used Bubble Bath in that one, but I've used Poppy Parade in that one. So let me get to this piece here, and I'm going to get my crumb cake. And what I'm going to do is get a piece of paper. I've been experimenting this morning on the other side of this, and just a little bit of crumb cake on the edges here. So just I want to just give it a bit of texture without it being too much. Let's see what we can do. It doesn't matter if I don't do the middle because it's going to be covered, but I'm going to then just get my brush and do a little bit more around the edge with my blending brush this time, so that it just will help it to stand out a little bit. You can see how that makes it stand out a little bit more. Now you could roughen up the edges of this if you wanted to give it even more of a vintage look. I saw Karen Hadler had done this card, and I thought, oh, that is pretty. So okay, that should be enough. So what I'm going to do is just stick this on like that on top. But I'm going to use dimensionals, which I have here. And those on. And get my scissors and cut a few more. Got a couple of sheets. I'm trying to use up all my old ones. Let's use these ones up first. So you do know that you can use the edges as well. Don't waste any. Okay, that will do for now. One there, one there, and a couple down the middle. Like that. Okay. Then I'm going to attempt something that I haven't done before after I've done this one. Well, I have done it. I did played with it at a retreat last weekend, or 2 weekends ago. And so that's going to go on there. Okay. And I'm just going to stick that right onto my card. There we go. Really hoping I'm trying to be organized this week and hope I've got everything that I need. That one's not going to play fair. Should have another one in here. It's just flipped back on itself. Always good to have a second one. There we go. Okay, just put it in my crumb cake base. I'm just going to do the front of this card for you. I'm not going to do the inside right now. But I was thinking you could do some gold embossing. So I've got a piece of gold ribbon here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get my really sharp scissors, which I keep for cutting ribbon. And I'm going to cut right up the middle of the gold. There's a sort of a cream line up the middle. So I'm going to cut up there. I haven't done it yet because it does shred a little bit. So just to do this is a good thing at the time you're going to put it on. You can see that it takes a few minutes to get that. So you're left with this gold strip that or actually 2 gold strips, so you could make another card with it. Another one. Whoops. To the end. I might turn it around and cut it from this side because it's, hold on to that, much better. There we go. So I'll leave that bit over there. And of course, if I was doing a silver one, I would use silver. So I'm just going to make my bow. You'll notice that it shreds a little bit, but that's okay. Just tighten that up. And it's going to go on down here, and then I shall cut the edges off. So where's my glue dots? I did bring them in. There they are. Didn't bring my pick in, but that's okay. I can manage with just my scissors. Okay. I use these ones. And I'm just going to put it, oh, where should I put it? Maybe, I'm trying to think where I want to put it. Probably about there. Stick it on, and then I will cut the ends a little bit so that I'm not sticking it right as far. Okay, so that's it in a slightly different color. You can see, I love the pale pink one actually, but you know, that one's really pretty too. So that's my first card today. My second card today uses the same process. This one here, on white. Okay, so I've stamped one of it's from Elements of Text, one of the texts, and some dots as well, but I've done it since Stampin' Up. And then I've got the stamp set Thankful Garden. Now that's what I'm going to use for this one. Let me get it out for you. When you buy Thankful Garden, it's about $113. And you get the stamp set. It's an online purchase, by the way. You get the dies and you get decorative masks. So what I am going to do is I'm going to show you. And can I ask one more favor? Could I ask for Memento ink? You see, I told you I was organized, didn't I? These are all the dies you get sitting on the top shelf of the bookcase. See, in my desk, I've been preparing lots of cards at the moment, so just making sure I have everything in. So I've got my Memento. I'm going to get this one, which is the hydrangea. And I just want to work out where I want to put it. Where's my piece of white card? Here we go. And I think got a little bit of glue on my finger. I think I'll stamp it there. Now I have here. This will fit on. And I'm going to show you how I did the masking. If you've never done masking, I hadn't done very much, but I found this was a lot of fun. So first of all, I've stamped the outline of the image. And I'm going to put it there. So I'm left with that. Okay. Now I'm going to color it, and I'm going to have a coffee as well. Just be mindful. So we've got 5 masks here. There are 2 flowers. One is the hydrangea and the other one is, I don't know, it looks like some sort of calendula or something like that. He's playing around with his phone. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've got these arrows. So what I want to do is I want to line this up. And you can see where I'm lining it up so that it's right on top of the image. And I'm going to change where I've got my little line. We've lost overhead. I'm seeing overhead, though. I'm seeing overhead here. See? Look. It's not playing fair this one. So there's a little groove on the sides of these masks. So I'm going to use that as my guide, and it's on all of them in the same spot. So let me get my, I decided I was going to do this one in Poppy Parade. I think that's why I had Poppy Parade here. And I just have to find it now. Wonder everything, oh, here it is, over here. Okay. And I've got a brush. So this is a mask. All the masks have got a number on them. This is number 1. So I'm just making sure it's outlined in that there. And I'm going to get my brush and take most of it off and just give it a light. Okay. And that's all I'm going to do with mask number 1. And I've got, I want to get on the rest of the card, just wipe it off a little bit. Clean these off afterwards properly. Right, mask number 2. I'm going to use the same color. You can use lots of different colors if you want, but I want to use the same one. Now you can see that, can you see that this one takes this stuff, some that's hidden? So I'm going to get this again, and I'm just going to go over it like this. It's a very cool technique. I think it should be enough. You don't actually see what you've done until you lift the mask off. I'm going to wipe it off a little bit. And I'll get number 3 now. Number 3 is here. It's very, very cool. So I'm putting it on. I'm going to get my Poppy Parade again. And I'm going to go even darker this time. So you can see that I started off fairly light. Now I'm even darker. So let's take that. And that's what I'm left with. Okay, so that's my flowers. Now I'm going to do the leaves. The last 2 masks are the leaves. So let's close our Poppy Parade. I just think this is such a cool technique. Get my leaves lined up again with the groove. Open my soft, or my old olive, and I get my old olive brush. I just want to move that a little bit so that I can see all of that. And here we go. And I'm just going to do it very, very lightly. Just like that. Okay. Pop it over there. And then I'm going to get my last mask. Just make sure I've got it in the right spot. There we go. I'm going to go a little bit darker this time. And just leave it like that. And that's it. That's it done. So that's my masking done. Now I could highlight those with Wink of Stella if I wanted to. Check in here. I could highlight the flowers a little bit so that, you know, it changes the color a little bit. So can you see how that is just doing the big ones? Poppy Brave's got quite a strong sort of orangey background to it. And just leave it like that. Okay. I'm not going to do the others, I'm just going to do this. Now I've got my dies here because I'm going to cut today. So I'm going to get the die out that fits this one, which is this big one here and put that away. Get my little machine. Before I do that, actually, I will cut the piece of paper because I want it to be able to put through the machine. Okay. There we go. Leave that over this side. Take a little bit off this side as well. Okay, get rid of that. Now, got my cute little square here, and I've got my plates. Comes with these cute little mini plates, so I'm not embossing. I'm going to be die cutting, so let's get that one and that one together. And I'm going to put that one on the bottom. You will see what I'm going to do in a second. Just get that on the plate. Set my die on top. So all those marks that are on the paper won't be seen in a minute. There we go. Pop this on. And hopefully run it through. I think I need to move it a little bit. I think the other one's too far. Let's try that again. Trying to get it in a little bit. And this is why. Now I could put a piece of masking tape or something on that to hold it really, really still. So I'm going to try and do it this way instead. If I can get it through. Sometimes it's a little bit stubborn. Let's try again. With the small one, you often have to change where the plates go. As it gets a kind of, it works very well, but you just have to get to the right spot. Ah, little fingers and thumbs then. Here we go again. Let's try this. My husband thinks I can't do this, you see. He's having a bit of a look to see how well I'm managing. Here we go. Right. It's because I've got my weight on top of it. Just hang on. I'm going to not let it beat me. No way. You know what? It would help if I used standard embossing folders. Let's use it without that thing and see if that makes it easier to get in and through. Because I'm feeling that I don't need to use that. And let's try that again. See, it's so long since I've used my mini. And I thought it would be really cute to use that today. And there's my other plate. Let's try this. I got this the wrong way. I'm right-handed, and that's what the problem was that there's two different kinds of embossing folders, and they use those. So there we go. Now, hopefully it hasn't slipped, which I don't think it has, but you know, it all adds to the fun. Pop it back closed, and I've got my flower. Okay, so there you go. Take that away, out of the way. And that's my flower. Now I've got a couple ready to put together to just show you how they go together. And there's one there, and there's another one somewhere. Ah, here it is. Okay, so I've done one in Coastal Cabana, and I've done this one in Poppy Parade, which I'm going to leave for now. And I've done this one in Highland Heather. You can tell me which one you like the best in a minute. And I've got some purple gems that I find in my box. So let's put it together. Okay. So here's my original. That was a bit of fun, wasn't it? Okay, so what I'm going to do is get this, turn this over, and I think I need a little bit of coffee. Put some of these dimensionals on the back. That's all of those used up. Let's cut a few more. Under my scissors. 2, 3, 4, 6. That will be enough for this particular card. If I don't get time to do the other one, so be it. But it's exactly the same, only a different color. So I will put this on first. Then I'll get my card base, and this is my embossing, and I've run this through exposed brick. So let me get my, this is the one I think that's working, the other one isn't. Pop this on here. It's almost finished. Okay. Take my flower. So you can see I've used the elements of text in the background, and then the exposed brick to give it a little bit more texture. And then I've got my flower that I've pre-colored using that method, popping it on. I've got a little ribbon here. So let's get a bit of a glue dot and the back of this. I'm just going to add that to the flower like so. And then down here at the bottom, I've got Thankful for You, Friend. And I think I'm going to make it just a little bit narrower. I'm going to eyeball this. Instead of cutting it with my machine on my plate. But I think this will do. And this is going to go on the bottom. And I'm going to get a couple more dimensionals. Put it on here. Excuse my croaky voice this morning. Not sure whether it's a change of weather, but coughing quite a bit. And my asthma medication is my best friend at the moment, so yeah. And the card is almost finished. There we go. So that's stamped in I think I stamped that actually in Gorgeous Grey. And then I've got some purple gems here. Here we go. They're hiding in here. Got another packet, but see if I can finish this one off or use some from this one. Now, I think I want to use, no, what am I picking? I'm not quite sure. Oh, where I put it. Thank you. It doesn't have a, here we go. Put one up there. Put one there. And I'm going to put a small one on here. So that's my purple card. It's pretty in purple too. And let's move those out of the way. That one doesn't have a back on it, so just put that in there for now. And then I'm going to quickly put the balmy blue one together. And now that I'm organized, and you can see I've done it already, so let's put this on first. Make sure it's the right way up. This is the right way up. Put that on the front. I like this one actually. Blue. Mind you, as you know, many of you know, blue is my favorite color. So let me get my dimensionals, which are hiding again. Here we go. Here's some here. All right. Pop a few on the back of this. One there. There. One up there. And then there. One there. And I got any more. Here's one. This will be my last card today. So let's do that. Stick it on the card. Now next week I'm going to show you how to do, see, isn't that gorgeous? I've got my bow here and I've got my glue dots. So let's grab a glue dot or two. Got to take a couple here, put it on the back of this, set it on there, and then I'm going to put Thankful for You, Friend. And I think I want to take a little bit off the sides of this, just so it's not quite as broad. And I shall put some dimensionals on this as well. And then one there, one there, and one there. And I've got some Coastal Cabana. Got a couple of different kinds, but I think I know which one I want to use. That's going to go down the bottom. And I think I want to use this one, which has, it's actually supposed to be Lost Lagoon. This is the Coastal Cabana ones here. These are party dots. See, they might be better on this one. Go with Wildflower. Wildflower Birthday. One there. And another one there. They're not quite as bright as the other ones, but there's the 3 cards. Sorry, my voice is going all croaky again. 3 cards that I made with that. Move that out of the way. This is the one I did. It's just different. Hydrangeas I've discovered come in all sorts of different colors. And the other one I did was this one. So we have these today. So next week, as I said, I'm going to use the DSP. The DSP is quite strong. So I'm going to show you a couple of ways to use it along with the stamp set. And I think you'll enjoy looking at that. So there we go. That's today. And we've got a pretty quiet week because Friday we've got Anzac Day. So we've got like a 3-day week this week. So everybody's sort of kind of chilled out. So that's what I wanted to show you today. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I will see you next week, all being well. Okay, take care. Bye.